These 5 E's that represent the seeds of leadership development as well, are lived out in 2 processes in our movement. And the first one is what I would call an all play. That is, every team leader and every staff member on every team at every level. This should be happening all over the place with no apology. We want to be in intentional conversations between every team leader and every staff member. We've called this the staff development cycle. Some parts of the ministry call it the development cycle. Some places call it the personal development review. Whatever the name of it is, the principle is that the team leader has a series of intentional conversations with each staff member to establish clear objectives and individual development goals. How are they a part of the strategic plan? And what would it look like if this person was successful in taking on this part of the plan? Are there any things that that person needs to know that the team leader is expecting, but they might not be able to guess it? That kind of conversation is just gold when it comes to seeing people feel empowered and confident about the work that they're entrusted to do. The staff development cycle has 3 parts. The first is a focus conversation that establishes the ministry objectives and development goals. If you've been doing this for a few years, we might call it the refocus conversation. Some of the goals might be the same, some of them might be new, but we're sort of turning the lens so that we get it right in focus of what that person's responsible for this year. There's 2 formal conversations that come in the annual cycle, a mid-year and end-of-year review. The mid-year is the opportunity to make any adjustments about what those goals are. I don't know about you, but sometimes we have, more aspirations than we have energy, or circumstances change and we can't fulfill the goals that have been established early on. So this is the place where you want to make those adjustments and see if the person has what they need in order to move forward well. The end of year review is the place where progress is celebrated. We can look at what's been accomplished and give a yay. Well, maybe a little more than that in some cases. But we also want to document what's happened so we have a history of the person's leadership and a record of their ministry progress. It's helpful when we begin to look at leadership development further on. That staff development cycle, it's always been one of the things that surprised me. I had a couple of very senior staff members on my team who every time we finished one of those conversations, they would just get up and go, "Oh, I feel so empowered right now." And I would just look at them and I think, you guys are smart. You know what to do. And finally one day I asked, "What is it about this conversation that does that for you?" And they said, "Because we are on the same page. You and I have the same understanding, so I feel like I can move forward with confidence." It surprised me, but I think everybody wants their work to matter. Everybody wants their work to be known, and everybody wants to know that they're on the right track. And that is what those kinds of conversations can do for our staff. That end of year conversation is also the place, along with feedback and appreciation, of where we can begin to talk about future aspirations. Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? What would you like to be doing? It's the place where the team leader can actually interject, if that is what you're thinking about for the future, here are some things that would be helpful for you to grow in or to gain experience in. It creates that sense of not only are you known and needed, but you have a future and somebody is thinking along those lines.